I have made many mistakes and I regret nothing. Hi, I'm Ann. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a confession and a book haul. So at the beginning of this year, I made a personal goal that I wouldn't buy any books this year unless I got them as a gift, or I did buy a few for my college degree. And my main reasoning for this was because I have an entire bookshelf, I think 5 shelves, packed full of books on my physical TBR that I haven't read. And it was really making me unhappy just looking at these books and realizing I haven't read any of them. So I decided, in order to force myself to read my TBR, I was going to not buy any books to add to my TBR. And because of that, I haven't bought any books this year. However, that all changed this month, and I have a confession to make because I just bought a whole bunch of books from Book Outlet. But let me preface this saying I still don't think I failed in my goal, because my goal was to get my TBR down, and all of these I forced myself to only buy ones I had already read. So I'm not adding them to my TBR. These are books that are going on my already read shelves. So technically I didn't fail yet, but I did buy books, which was my original goal, so I failed halfway. But basically, Book Outlet is a website where there is an overstock or publishers can't sell books, they will sell it on Book Outlet for a very cheap price. I haven't bought from Book Outlet for a couple years, but I made the mistake of just going on there because I browse there once in a while, even though I know I can't buy anything. And maybe I'll add things to my cart, even though I know I'm not going to buy it. But this time I ran into a series of books, a series of classics, and I absolutely loved these covers of books and just how these books were made. And they are faux leather, and they were like $7 a piece, and usually they're like $20. So, because my husband, started a better job, and he's been making a few fun purchases, so he was like, Anne, do it. Buy the stuff. So I have 15, 17 books here that I'm going to haul, and they're all classics that I've already read, but they are on this beautiful cover. They are paper mill press. The only issue I have with these copies is the translated works especially. They do not give the translation details. So basically these are reprints from copies from different publishers. So for example, if it was originally a Wordsworth edition, you would have to go to that Wordsworth edition and say, okay, what was the translator of that one? And then see if the translation was good from there, as opposed to usually I'm used to looking in the front cover and saying, oh, it was translated by this person. But most of these are English novels, so I'm not too miffed about that, but I'm like, at least you could put the original translator. I'm sorry. But all of these translations, I just briefly looked over them, appear to be good, so that's good. So I'm going to go down the pile in the aesthetic colored books because I have organized these according to color, and I've been gushing over them the last few days that I got them. Yeah, I eventually, at the end of the year, if Book Outlet still has some copies of some of the books I haven't read, I may go back and buy some more copies, but we'll see if they still have them then. But so let's get through this list because I've been talking way too much. So the first one is Call of the Wild by Jack London. So as you can see, they're not hardback. They're flexible feel, which is one of my big issues with hardback, is they don't feel flexible. And these, they look very much like hardback books, and they're very soft, like faux leather, but they're more like a suede feel too. They're very, very soft to the touch, but they're also flexible. And so they're this perfect combination of a hardback and a paperback, and I'm so happy about this, and all the covers are beautiful. So I will stop gushing and just show you all the covers. So next one is Jane Eyre. Oh, just look at that cover. That cover is breathtaking. And we have Little Women, which a lot of these I'm getting because I do not have copies of these books. So I grew up with my mom's copy of Little Women, and all of them have these little things. I love these things. What are they called? I don't know, but they're built-in bookmarks. It's perfect. Then Wuthering Heights, which I read last year. Oh, and I love it so much. So yeah, and they're very shiny covers. I'm very shallow, clearly. Around the World in 80 Days, which is my second favorite Jules Verne book. Oh, and these colors are just so pretty. Then I actually have gotten the complete collection of Jane Austen books. So I have Emma, I have Persuasion, I have Pride and Prejudice, I have Northanger Abbey, and I have Sense and Sensibility. Oddly enough, I always read my mom's copies of these, so the only one I actually own is Pride and Prejudice. So to have them all in this like beautiful collection that matches just makes me so happy. The next one is The Three Musketeers. I do own a small paperback copy of this, but this one was just so pretty. Oh, I'm like gushing about these books way too much. The next one is 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which is my favorite Jules Verne book. I'm pretty sure they had more Jules Verne books, but I think they had Journey to the Center of the Earth, which is actually one of my least favorite Jules Verne books, interestingly enough. But I didn't see any of his other ones. But 20,000 Leagues is my favorite book by Jules Verne, so I'm really happy to find this copy, and it's so pretty. And then my favorite book ever, Crime and Punishment. Oh, I just love this copy so much. It's so cool and like dark and grim because it's got the axe and the cross, and it's just perfect. And I did glance through this translation because this was the translation I was most concerned about, because Jules Verne, typically I like all the translation I've read of Jules Verne's books. But with him specifically, I've tried to read a couple translations that I really didn't like. But this one, I just read the couple first pages when I got it, and I liked it. Next one is Phantom of the Opera, which it has been many years since I read this book, and it's much more of like a crime novel instead of like a dark romance like the movie portrays it, or the musical play. The next one is Dracula by Bram Stoker, and again, I love this copy, and I swore I owned a copy of Dracula, but I can't find it anywhere, even though I've read it multiple times. All right, and the last one is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. This is a book I hadn't owned a copy of, and I love this book. So yeah, there are all the books I got here. Let's see if I can pick them up like a weirdo. Oh. Ooh. There we go. That's so impressive that I could actually pick it up. So I'm really happy about these books. They're a ridiculous purchase for me to actually buy. But I'm really excited because all of these are books that either I own a copy and it's just not a very pretty copy, or I don't own a copy but I've read it and I've wanted to invest in a really nice copy. So yes, technically I broke my book buying ban, but I didn't buy any books that I hadn't read. So technically I'm still going on with my goal of this year I can buy books. But I can only buy books that I've already read. So do you like these editions? Have you heard of these editions at all? Because I'd never heard of them, and I wanted to invest in nicer copies, but I can't afford the really nice expensive ones, so I decided to just splurge but buy a whole bunch of these. Also, I just want to say before I end this video, for those who are still watching, thank you for everyone who is new to this channel, and welcome, because in the last week I've gained like 100 subscribers, which is mind-boggling to me, but a few of my videos kind of blew up for me, as in they got like 1,000 views or like 400 views in just a couple days, which is a lot for me. I feel definitely more pressure to like produce better videos now. Eventually I will invest in like a nicer camera and nicer equipment and learn how to edit better. So thank you so much for watching and for subscribing. If you like this video and you're not subscribed, subscribe. I post every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I post every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!